Howdy, howdy, everybody. Happy New Year. Being the new year and a beekeeper kind of means you need to start treating for oxalic acid for your mites. So, this is what we're going to do. This is my vaporizer. I've got the plunger set. You adjust the threads on it. As you can see, those numbers represent grams. I've got the plunger all the way up above 4 here. See if I can get her to zoom right. Focus. Anyways, you get the gist. 4 grams of oxalic acid per deep hive body is the recommended dose by University of Georgia. Yeah, U of G recommends that dose now. And this is the oxalic acid that I'm going to be using. You can get it off of Amazon. This bag's like 10 or 12 bucks, I'm wanting to say. So, and that is an amaryllis. I love things that bloom in the wintertime. Side note, anyways, let's go take care of our bees. So, what's up, guys? I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using today. I got some gloves. Whatever gloves are comfortable to you. These are the tools that I like to use whenever I do oxalic vaporization for my mite treatments. Now, I bought these 8 amp batteries last year because I found out the hard way these little guys right here only last about 2, maybe 3 hives on a full charge. That ain't good. I think I went through, gosh, I just had bees over here. I think I had to go to my work trailer and get more batteries out. Anyways, I had to use several batteries. But I like to put my oxalic acid in there for my plunger. I usually have to mix a little water into it to get it to stay in the plunger. We'll see what it does here in a second, though. I got my veil. We're going to do a little experiment today, too. I'm going to use one of these little batteries to start out with and see what I can get out of it. I don't have it warming up yet. I've just got it turned on. And then you want to cover your entry points on your bottom boards. That way the bees cannot escape while you're doing this. It holds the vapor inside your hive bodies better too. So that's what I got going on, guys. Disclaimer: oxalic acid is kind of hazardous, more or less. I'm not a scientist or professional, but please wear some personal protective equipment whenever you're dealing with this stuff. The acid is obviously acidic. You get it on your skin, eats your skin away eventually if you don't wash it off or neutralize it somehow with baking soda and water, perhaps. And then another thing I found out the hard way is I had used some oxalic acid in that container last year. I'll tell you what, I didn't take it out because I didn't use the rest of it. And I was busting it up with a hive tool. Don't do that, because it got aerosolized somehow. Those little crystals got in the air. I got a lung full of them. Let me put it this way: if you ever have used formic acid on your hives, formic acid ain't nothing compared to those dry crystals getting in your lungs. No bueno. All right. Another side note: the drill has a 1/4 inch bit in it, which matches the diameter of the nozzle on my vaporizer. And if you have just standard homemade bottom boards like I do, you got to drill holes in them to make this work. So, however, today I'm going to find out whether or not the pallets I built are going to be conducive to this system. I should be able to rest this on the front with these teeth that they built into it. It's got these teeth right here built into the sheet metal. I should be able to just stick that into an entry point on the hive. We'll find out, though. It should hold itself in place. If anything, when that battery comes down, it should sit on the front of the bottom board and do its job. We're going to find out, though. Sometimes you got to break the crystals up. Whenever you do that, it aerosolizes the crystals into the air, and you don't want to breathe those. You don't want to breathe the vapor either, obviously, but the crystals are like full force, really bad. Alright, got my crystals broke up because they were clumpy. I'm going to add a little bit of water to them and stir them up, and then I'm going to use them in my vaporizer. You don't want to put much water in there because that vaporizer gets, I think it's 230 degrees Celsius and then 450-ish degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere right through there. You don't want it to blow up from steam per se, you know what I mean? Don't put too much water in it. Alright guys, I've got everything set up. I've got my Oxalic mixed up. Kind of like the consistency of wet snow in a way. I've got my plunger set to 4 grams, just a little bit over 4 grams. So I just turned this vaporizer on just a minute ago, literally maybe a minute ago, and it's already up to 350 almost, guys, with a small battery. And once that gets hot enough, it gets up to 446 Fahrenheit. I already tested this out. The way my pallets are set up, I can't rest this on the front without opening up the entry all the way. So what I'm going to do, see it's starting to smoke a little bit already, burning off some impurities. So what I'm going to do, I've got my 1/4 inch drill bit here. I'm just going to go on the backs of these shims that the hive bodies sit on top of and blow it in from the back on these pallets that I built. That way all the vapor, all 4 grams of that vapor goes right up in the middle of the cluster, in the middle of the brood nest, if there is any brood at all being raised, which I doubt it. If there is any, there's very little, so. Anyways, these holes drilled, because we're almost up to temp. I can get 1 hole drilled, shove this bad boy in there and let it do its job. And I've got the entry points that neither one of these hives can come out their entrance at me or get away from the vapors, so we're going to get after it. Hole number 1. Hopefully not any changing. Kind of clean it out a little bit. Look at there, we're up to temp. Alright. I'll get my glove on, hell. Alright. I've got that nozzle in there. Fits right into that 1/4 inch hole. Quite nice and snug. I've got the entry points blocked off, y'all. And I'm loaded up. 4 grams it is. And drop her in. We are on hive number 1 with a small battery. I think it's like a 2 or 3 amp battery. It's not very big. Give it the old plunge. You watch the temperature drop as it's vaporizing it. Just a little bit of smoke starting. That looks like smoke, but it's actually crystals. Hitting them with a full 4 gram dose, maybe just a hair more. As you can see, I'm covered up. I actually should have, they make a whole face covering, which would be better than just a gosh, what do I want to say, a face mask. They make an entire facial enclosure, that way you don't get any of the vapors in your eyes. Smart people, unlike me, use those, so. Alright. Did that just happen? 1 hive. 1 hive on this battery. Is that it? Let's pull the battery out and take a look. Okay, so I just pulled the battery out, guys. Here's your battery meter. And there's that 1. It sucked that battery down in 1 shot. Don't act like you're not impressed. Anyways, so it literally went dead on me. I really don't know if it burnt or if it vaporized all those crystals. So I'm going to go grab one of my 8 amp batteries, and we're going to start using that and see how many hives we can get out of an 8 amp battery. Fully charged, 8 amp battery, 20 volt, going in, boys and girls. Still fairly hot. Go ahead and turn it on and get her back up to temp. I got a whole nother yard to treat. I'm just starting this one. And there's 12, see, 8, 9, 10, yeah, there's 12 hives over here. And I got 10 more in my other yard. So I'm really hoping I can do at least 10 hives with these 8 amp batteries. That'd be awesome. It didn't really appear that we lost much vapor, the vapor that did get, or the crystals that did get vaporized. There's a little hint of smoke, whatever you want to call it, coming out the front still. So hopefully that rag is doing its job. Yeah, we're already back up to temp. I don't think it takes those crystals very long to vaporize, so. Already got hole number 2 drilled. See those teeth digging in there? That's pretty handy to keep it from twisting around on you. Alright. A little smoky. Alright, we are filled back up. Dropping it in. Hit the plunger. There goes the temperature. Dropping because it's doing its job. Oh yeah. That's the stuff you don't want getting in your eyes and in your inside your lungs. For sure. That's some gnarly stuff. I'm surprised that it doesn't really hurt the bees at all. Thank goodness it doesn't. These stinking mites are just a real bugger to deal with. I lost one hive so far back in, God, because it was a hive that was requeening itself whenever I did mite treatments on all the rest of my hives. So I didn't treat them for mites. And sure as heck, even though they requeened themselves, they died. I never got an opportunity to give them a mite treatment. But that's how important treatment for mites is, y'all. Alright guys, that's one hive with this battery so far. It's already back up to temp, so let's get after it. Number 1. Oh man, that one don't want to go through. I bet there's a staple right there. Yep. Come on, there it is. Number 2. They're not coming out after me yet. I'm kind of surprised. Alright, on to the next ones. Get the little plunge. See how it's fixing there nicely with that moisture added. Stick it in there, give it a love tap. Let it do its thing. Down to about 400 already. Voltage is hanging out good so far. Already going back up, guys, with that 8 amp battery. It makes a huge difference. Got a little vaporization coming out the front entrance, just a little bit. Not too much. This is the only double deep hive I've got right now. And she's a breeder queen. And I'm probably gonna vaporize them twice today. That way they get 8 grams since they're in double boxes. And be sure to hit them really well, because I don't want her dying on me this winter. That's for sure. So we're already back up to temperature again, guys. Voltage is right back up to 20 almost again. You're almost going to always have a little residual smoke coming out of there. I didn't time it or nothing, but I'll bet you that only took about 30 seconds. If you get good at this, and you're not running a camera at the same time, I'd say if you've got enough batteries, probably treat a yard. I mean, you're looking at less than a minute per hive easily. I mean, if you got 50 hives, you could probably treat the yard in 30 minutes if you got enough power. If you're going to invest in one of these, I would definitely get some really good batteries. So this box here we just treated still has some smoke coming out. I mean, that rag, this is probably 2 minutes after we vaporized it all. So I've got the entrance covered up. This is the hive next to them. I don't know if you can see, but they have a little bit of a crusty, a little bit more of a white look to them than they normally do. That's the crystals sticking to them, which is what you want. And those crystals, whenever they rub against the other bees being in the cluster, trying to stay warm during the winter, that's what kills the mites. This is round 2 of 4 grams on my double deep colony here. I'm going to go ahead and hit them twice in a row. I did them first, and then I did the one next to them. And we're going to hit those 8 over there real quick once we're done with this breeder queen. Man, those 8 amp batteries are awesome. Temperature's already coming up. I can actually hear their wings buzzing around inside the hive. Oh man. Very nice. Love it. Take care of your bees, guys. They'll take care of you. Just finished drilling holes in the backs of all these other bottom boards. That way they're all the same. Now we're going to finish treating all the rest of these. I went ahead and did this one here. And that voltage is still almost 20. It's been sitting here the whole time while I've been drilling holes in the backs of these other bottom boards. I missed one. Yeah, we're going to do this one here too. Actually, I've got a hole right there from last year that I'm going to reuse. So, X-May on the whole thing. So anyways, yeah guys, I'm going to finish treating these ones. That would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th round of this 8 amp battery, so it's holding up quite nicely compared to the small ones. Alright guys, we treated every one of these hives, one of them twice because there was a 2 deep colony with 8 grams of oxalic acid on one 8 amp DeWalt battery. Awesome, and it's still going. I just turned it back on because I want to do a demonstration for you guys. I'm going to do a demonstration of what the vapor looks like coming out of the nozzle for y'all. I'm going to let it heat up. We're still, let's see, we're sitting at 17.5, 18 volts still. And it's almost back up to 446, so we're going to vaporize some crystals here in just a second. Okay, 4 grams going in. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. I'm going to call it 45 seconds. And it's already heated back up to temperature, basically. And that's after treating 11 hives, basically 12 hives. I did 1 hive twice, so. And that's the 13th charge, basically, on 1 battery, and it's still going hot. So I'm going to keep this battery in here and go. We'll meet you at the next yard. We'll see how long it lasts out there. By the way, it's only 40 degrees. And I don't have an insulator on here. You can buy a silicone insulator for the top of this and it keeps it hotter longer, but they're like 50 bucks. Probably worth it, especially if you're a commercial guy, but I'm not yet, so. Anyways, kind of fun to see what happens with this stuff when you start actually using it intensively. And as you can see, we're back up to temp, and it's holding temp just fine, and it's cold outside, so. We're on the 13th vaporization on 1 8 amp battery so far. Shut her down, let her cool off. I'll see you guys at the next yard. Alright, y'all. Just coming into the next yard here. And get these girls treated here in a moment. I wanted to show you all what I see whenever I come in here. Call them pink buckets. Alright. There's my ladies. Last time I came out here a couple weeks ago, whenever it was, man, it was like pushing 70 degrees. I couldn't resist open feeding my bees, so I'll bet you a raccoon got into that bucket there. I couldn't quite fit all of my sugar syrup into those 2 containers there, so I'll bet some of it went to waste because of the raccoons, but hopefully the bees cleaned that bucket right there out before the coons found it. So guys, back at the bee ranch. Got the same battery in there. Just turn it on. It looks like we're at 18.3 volts. Got my acid here. However, push the button on the battery. We got 2 bars still, which is really good. So earlier we did 13, yeah. Sun in the background. Ow, ow. 13 rounds on 1 battery. But I've got another one of these in the truck, fully charged. I'm gonna slap it on there and just see if it'll suck one of these down again in one go. Nope. Just had a bee fly right by my face. The sun came out a few minutes ago, and they're probably taking some cleansing flights, I'd imagine. But anyways, I'm gonna get my veil on, and I'm gonna have to drill some holes in the backs of all these pallets like I did my other ones. So I'm gonna start doing that, and then we'll do this experiment again. We got 13 out of 1 8 amp battery, and out of a single power stack, which those batteries are okay for just using in an impact driver or something for hanging pictures or doing some small projects around the house with, but that's about it. But we're gonna see how long it lasts again. Let's do it. All right, you guys, turning the beast on. Got a full battery with this little DeWalt power stack. They make these Insta vapes like compatible with different batteries. You just got to pick which model you want. I already had a bunch of DeWalt stuff, so obviously it made sense for me to buy a DeWalt version. Anyways, we're gonna see how long that little guy lasts again. My battery here. Let's do it. We're at 157, 160. It's warming up fairly quickly, I suppose. Not too bad. 180. It's warming up. Just the question is the longevity. I mean, you're going to pay $500 for a vaporizer. The battery, that 8 amp battery was like $200, so buy a bigger battery, right? Because those little bitty batteries right there cost $50 to $100 depending on what time of year it is. I got that 8 amp battery on sale for Black Friday. I think it was $150 or $200, but like I said earlier, we've already got 13 charges, so to speak, out of this one battery, and it's still got 2/3 the power left on it. One of these little power stacks, we only got 1 out of it, so you're gonna have to buy potentially 20 of these batteries to equal 1 of these. Just a rough estimate right now. I'm gonna see how many more hives we can do with this one battery, though. So finally, we're almost up to temperature. It's probably taken 5 minutes for this thing to warm up with this small battery. I'll go ahead and get her poked in the hole here. Oh yeah, some of that vapor. We're going to give them a 4-gram dose. Filled all the way up right there, as you can see. Let's do it. Temperature's dropping. We are down to 16 volts. Holy cow. On a 20 volt battery. You're starting to get some good vapor coming out of there. Temperature's still below 400. I can hear them wings a-flapping inside that hive. Woo! This hive isn't exactly mean, but they're fairly defensive. They were already coming out of the entrance whenever I was messing with them a minute ago. Voltage is still below 16. Oh man. Yep, it just died. I knew it. Well, lesson learned. That's two of the same exact batteries with two of the exact same results. Don't use the power stacks, the little bitty guys, so you don't even really get a full treatment, I don't think, because the voltage drops so low so fast. I don't think you get as good of a burn, so to speak, on these crystals as you do a big battery like the 8 amp. So, I don't know what just happened, but it turned itself back on somehow. Huh. Oh, it just died again. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. So I just put Old Faithful back in there. The original 8 amp battery. And we're looking at 17 volts. And it's having to warm it back up. And we're almost already to the maximum temperature again of sublimation. Voltage is already back up to 18. Oh yeah. That's the only battery I would ever roll with this unit is a 8 amp hour battery for sure. Very nice. I'm gonna give them just a little bit more, just in case that other battery didn't do it any justice. We'll give them some more vapor just to be on the safe side, because this is a potential breeder queen hive as well. Alright, don't use power stacks. So this will be, on this one 8 amp battery, the 14th dose, so to speak, given with this one battery. And it's done boiling off the crystals, vaporizing them, and then it's already back up to temperature again. So I'm going to start drilling in all the backs of these pallets, and I'll do a time lapse for you guys. And just to do it, I'm going to leave that on the whole time while I'm getting ready to do this hyperlapse. The unit on, that way it stays hot and it keeps using the same battery, and it kind of abuses it a little bit. I'm going to get the camera set up and we'll see how long this guy lasts. Well, it finally died. I'm kind of surprised. Check it out. Let's see, yeah, it's dead. Gave everything it had though, to the last second. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13, 20 charges. That's an easy number to remember. An 8 amp battery fully charged will do 20 charges, so to speak, with the Oxalic. 20 doses. I only got 3 left, so luckily I've got some more batteries with me, but it's good to know. This is what the hives look like so far after I've treated them. They're all coming out, flapping their wings, trying to air the hive a little bit. This hive, not so much. I mean, they're alive, I just checked, but most of them are coming out to the face of the hive and getting some fresh air at least. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear the hum of their wings big time inside this hive. They're all coming out and fanning their wings. There's a couple of these girls here you can really see have all that white kind of crystallized look to them. That's the vapor sticking to their body. Look at that one. She's all kinds of covered up. See, you can see like the hairs on her back right there. Get this camera to focus again. Come on. Yeah, that one there is a really good one. You can really see the crystals stuck to her. Yeah, look at the top of her back. Awesome. That's what a 4-gram dose will get you guys. Battery number 2. 19 volts. Heating up quickly. That's what we want. Get her done. So this is the last hive I treated. Let's see what they do here. Just one little girl all by herself. There they are. What's up, girls? Still a little bit of vapor coming out of here, I can see. But man, they got like crystallized big time. You can see the crystals on those bees really good. Awesome. Alright. This is with a brand new battery. Get down to almost 380. Already warming back up. Very good. I can hear their wings. Oh yeah, bud. 2 more and we're done with treatment for now. Alright. Last one, guys. That barely dipped down below 380 on the 3rd dose from this single battery. Still hovering right below 19. It's warming back up. Very good. Just starting to get some vapor coming out the front. Once again, we're using 4 grams. Looks like a majority of the vapor is staying in these boxes quite well. This one here still has a little bit of vapor coming out the corner there. Let's open up this one here and see what happens. It's already coming out. That little gap right there. Yep, there we go. Come out and get some air, girls. Look at that one. She is really crystallized looking, huh? Yep. I know one thing, if I was stuck in that box, I wouldn't be flapping my wings. I'd just be dead probably. If you ever had a whiff of this stuff without having any kind of personal protection, woo, it is nasty. Let me tell you. Alright. Let's get these girls opened up here. In case they want to get a little fresh air. Already starting to do the old wing flap. Now this hive here is not very nice, so you might see me just back away somewhat quicker than normal. I hope you guys can hear that. Woo! Yeah. Everybody wants some fresh air. Definitely. I don't blame you. I'm gonna back away from these girls. They can be kind of gnarly sometimes. But yeah. One battery will do 20 4-gram doses. We're not doing little 1 and 2 gram doses. We're maxing out what we can do with the tool that we have. Because it'll only go up to 4 grams. Get the camera to work here. Where's it at? Get the light to hit it just right. It's got engravings on it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 notches. If you go up past that, it doesn't work properly. So you gotta watch what you're doing. 4 grams per box. If you got double deeps, use a 4-gram dose twice. I've seen people use 2 of these at the same time with a 4-gram dose, and they'll blow one in from the entrance and then one from the back like this. That way it kind of has a bit of a vertical push effect to the vapors since you're coming at it from each side. And after 3 charges with this battery, we still got 3 bars at least. I know it's not a perfectly full battery, but y'all get the gist of it. So we got 13, let's see, 13 highs. Yeah. 20 charges, 20 vaporizations out of one 20 volt, 8 amp hour battery. I'd imagine it probably doesn't matter if it's Milwaukee or what the brand is, as long as it has the 8 amp per hour rating, they probably all work equally as good. But that's the first round of oxalic acid vaporization. You don't want to do it one time. So every one of these hives, I'm probably going to do it 5 or 6 times to them before they start brooding up this spring. Today's January 3rd. So yeah, I'll probably do it every single weekend for the next 6 to 8 weeks, I would say, honestly. The cleaner your bees are in springtime, when they start brooding up, the better off you are. The greater your success rate will be with survival and how well they progress going into the flow. Just for fun, that last hive over there, they're ornery. It's a good thing it's about 38 degrees right now. That's all I got to say. I'd have to be probably suited up a lot more than I off, so I don't want to get stung in the face. Looks like that got cleaned out well. In fact, I almost bet the bees cleaned it up before a critter found it and knocked it over. I'm going to take all these home with me today. Yeah, bud, that's empty. Oh my gosh, guys. I didn't have my phone with me the other day. I've got some feeders like this at home. I just took a 4-inch hole saw too and put a hole in each side of it for them to go in and out of. Little note to self for y'all. Don't make your holes that big. Use like a 1-inch hole saw, but just make multiple holes, right? I still got some in there. They'll finish that up here whenever it warms up, another couple days. However, what I was going to say, I popped one of these open at home the other day, and there was a possum about half the size of one of these buckets stuck inside of one of them. So if I wear these out and make some new ones, I'm going to probably, like I said, drill some smaller holes in these. And these ones here, I still may, if I have any more issues, I'm going to just take some chicken wire and staple it or something, screw it to the outside of these holes that I put in these containers. They're just a storage container. You can get them at Lowe's. They're like $8 or something, you know. So yeah, That's the only issue I've ever had. Stinky old possum. But I think my lucky stars it wasn't a skunk, because I had no idea it was in there whenever I opened the lid. That could have been a really bad deal. Stinky deal. Guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you guys' bees make it through the winter just fine. Treat your bees for mites, yo. You'll have a better honey crops and better bees. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye, girls. Till next weekend. Treat your bees 5 to 7 times, 5 to 7 days apart with oxalic acid, people. Peace. We're just getting ready to leave and load these buckets up. I showed you guys a second ago. I forgot I'd given my bees a bunch of pollen sub just to give them something to do. I just stuck it up here in between these 2 old lids. I did put a little bit of sugar syrup in there, which is why there's some stalagmite type looking structures in there, but I had a lot of pollen sub in here at one point, and now it's almost all gone. I mean, they'll still come over here and clean us up, but that's good. Hopefully that means they're raising some brood. Yeah, gotta have protein even in the wintertime. Even if they're broodless, they still need protein to an extent. So, but if you can stimulate them and keep them, if they can keep the brood nest warm enough, they'll raise brood all winter long if they have what they need. Which keeps your population high too. Creates more heat. So anyways, time to load up, y'all. See you on the next one. See ya. I'll tell y'all what I like to do right before I leave either one of my bee yards. I like to make sure every hive has a brick and an entry reducer. Since it's winter time, I keep entry reducers on them. Keep the mice out, keep the breeze out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and number 10. All right, looks like we're good to go. See you guys.